Today's topic is 10 tips on how to become a motivational speaker. Number one, fall in love with what your audience needs versus your own story. So often I run across people and they say, I'd love to figure out how do I get into becoming a speaker, a motivational speaker specifically. And I say, well, why do you want to be a speaker? And they say, well, the reason I want to be a speaker is I have a story to tell. I have something I want to share with people. I have something that I believe people will really value. Instead of, I sat down and I went and researched a bunch of people in my community, and I found out that they really need something. And the thing they need, I'm really proficient at delivering, and I would love to share it with them in the capacity of a speech. I really believe that would be the most efficient way of transferring this information from me to them, or this experience from me to them, so that they can get what they want in their results. That's what I don't hear. So number one, fall in love with your audience and what they need instead of your story and your experience and what you want out of this. Number two, realize a speech, a motivational speech, is nothing more than a vehicle that's here to transport a message to the people who need to receive it. I always tell people, if juggling fire sticks or singing or acting or dancing or being a CEO or being a better dad or whatever transported the message in my heart better and more efficiently to the people who need it at the moment they need it, then by God, I would be juggling fire sticks or learning how to sing better. It just so happens that the audience I speak to tends best to receive what it is that they need or want from me through speaking, through training, through coaching, through a book, through a training program. Those are the vehicles that best transport this message. So the second thing, if you really want to become a motivational speaker, is ask, what is the best vehicle to transport the message that people need to hear or experience from you? What's the best vehicle? Is a speech really the best vehicle? It might be. Number three, focus on inspiring new action instead of gaining applause. So many people judge their speech by how big the applause was that they got from the audience or people that they were talking to, instead of, if I watch these people over the next 24 hours, 3 days, 5 weeks, or 10 years, did they make a significant shift in who they are, how they do life, or the results they're going after? Or did they just clap real loud and get excited and then go home and do the exact same stuff they were doing before and nothing actually changed? So seek actual transpiring of action, not just gaining of applause. Number four, this is important. I've met a lot of people who are out speaking who go speak with the goal of filling their own emotional confidence, filling up their own emotional needs, wants, or desires, instead of taking time to do the work on themselves mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and then going to that venue to share all the excess of what they've built up from within. They're going there to try to fill up from people and get the clap, get the applause, get the high fives, get the good jobs, instead of going there to share the abundance of love or joy or knowledge or information or gratitude or whatever with the people there. So go to share. Number five, go to give versus going to get. There's a beautiful story of a comedian. His name is Michael Jr. He said when he first started as a speaker and comedian, he would often go to audiences and try to get laughs out of them. Meaning he would tell a joke in hopes to get them to laugh so he could get their laugh. He said what he found out over the years was he was there to give laughs. He was there to create space so that people could relax and enjoy a few moments of their life when they're going through hard times. One of the most beautiful stories he tells is this one time he went to a place and he's giving a speech to all these children, and there's this little boy dressed as Spider-Man in the front row with his mask on. And he makes a couple of jokes and the boy doesn't budge at all. And throughout the speech, he learns through asking the people around that the boy wears his outfit to protect himself because he comes from an abusive situation. And when he's wearing his Spider-Man mask, it protects him and he can't get hurt. And he's giving laughs and sharing and creating jokes. And all of a sudden, at the end of the speech, he looks down and he noticed that Spider-Man took his mask off. And all of a sudden, he realized the whole purpose he was there was to give laughs, to create a safe space where people could enjoy themselves, so much so that Spider-Man took his mask off because he felt safe enough to do so by the laughter and joy and comedic factor that gentleman was sharing from stage. And so he was there to give laughs, not try to get anything from that little Spider-Man. And that's a beautiful transition. Go to give. Number 6, study your audience and know more about their needs, wants, desires, beliefs, values than they do. Now, it's hard to know more about someone than they know about themselves, but that's why you got to do your homework. You got to know what they struggle with, what they're curious about, what they're excited about, what they're working on, what's hurt them in the past, what excites them, what triggers them, what sets them off, what frustrates them, what they're dreaming of in their life. You got to know these things if you're going to go talk to someone, so that they realize you're not just giving a speech that you prepared, but really, truly, you're talking to who they are. You're talking to their soul. You're talking to their experiences and their traumas, and you're talking to their goals, dreams, and desires, and helping guide them on that journey through this speech. Number 7, speak to transform, not to inform. Being there to just give good information. You can get that on YouTube right here with these videos. If you're going to show up and be in communionship with other people, if you're going to be in the room, in the space, seek to transform. Share something in a way that will transpire and transform and transcend the current circumstance, not just inform them of stuff they need to know. Number 8, practice and refine. Practice. Michael Jordan did 1,000 jump shots a day before and after practice. Kobe Bryant, what's his name? Steph Curry, 500 jump shots a day before practice. Practice what you're going to deliver. Make sure that you've rehearsed it, you've planned it, you've built it in so you can forget what you're going to say, and then you'll know exactly what to say because you've practiced so much you're really prepared. And then refine. After every presentation, ask, what went great? What did I learn? What needs to be better? And practice the improvements. Practice getting better. Number 9, speak deep truths. Speak what's true. Speak what's real. Don't just speak the fluffy stuff because it's fun, but speak what's true. Speak what's real and watch what happens. And number 10, live it. Make sure you're living the message you want to speak of. So this is my little story of actually how I got invited to give my first motivational speech. I had started my own coaching practice, one-on-one coaching, and I ramped up my business from the front den of a house from 0 clients to 52 one-on-one coaching clients in 8 months. Now, most coaches make about $42,000 a year working part-time hours, making a full-time income. I was able to surpass that, more than 2x the average coach in my first 8 months. The reason I was invited to go give that speech in London, my very first speech, was because I had transcended a gap. I had accomplished more in 8 months than most coaches do in 2 decades of their career, business-wise. The place I was invited to go speak was a conference for coaches learning how to build their coaching business. I was living the result they asked me to come speak about so that others could pick up some clues on how to do it themselves. Notice, I was not hypothetically sharing something I thought might be useful because I read about it and attended a seminar where someone else taught it and I wrote down the tips and I'm going to go speak and share about it. No, I was just saying, hey, here's what I did in the format of some inspiring and empowering words and formats to cause people to get excited to go do that themselves. And so the final tip, number 10, if you want to be a motivational speaker, live it. Live what you're talking about. Produce the results yourself and guide people. Let them be the hero. Let them be the champion of the story. You're nothing more than their guide to say, hey, I've done it. Let me shine some light on some important facts, but I want to help you be your hero on your journey and transcend this gap as well. I hope this is helpful. I hope this is useful. If you know someone who wants to get into speaking, tag them in this. But I would love to know, if you're a speaker as well, what other tips would you give someone who's just beginning on how to get started? Hopefully it's useful. The easiest way, just start talking. Start sharing what's real and watch who shows up. Easiest place to share it, somewhere like this. And watch who connects to it. Watch who gathers. Watch who finds it useful and uses it. And watch who keeps coming back for more. So, enjoy this. Have some fun. We are going to go do our next baby ultrasound. So I am out, and I will see you tomorrow.